In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 30th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. West Virginia versus TCU. TCU hosts West Virginia in Week 5 matchup on Saturday, September 30th. The Horned Frogs have peeled off 3 straight wins after a Week 1 loss to Colorado. TCU is 3-1 with a 1-0 Big 12 conference record after defeating Houston on the road. West Virginia lost their opener to Penn State, and they have followed it with 3 wins heading into this game. The Mountaineers are 3-1 with a 1-0 Big 12 conference record. There were a lot of worries within this TCU roster after they lost to Colorado in Week 1, but the squad has turned things around and settled the ship. The Horned Frogs have peeled off 3 straight wins and are looking for their second Big 12 conference win. The duo of Morris and Bailey have been incredible for the Horned Frogs. Bailey's first quick step in the backfield is going to cause problems for West Virginia. Then TCU is going to hit them with a play action, and Morris can take advantage. The Mountaineers may be without their starting quarterback in this game. If Marchiol starts, hammer the Horned Frogs. West Virginia's offense could not move the ball at home against Texas Tech last week. They went 3 for 1-3 on third down, and TCU's defense will find a way to cause turnover. The Horned Frogs have caused 16 sacks this season, and they will be eager for more. The Mountaineers have enough weapons to slow down TCU a bit, but I don't think they'll be able to deal with the Horned Frogs' defense even if Garrett Green returns to the starting lineup. West Virginia will struggle to move the ball on the ground, and the Mountaineers arguably lack the firepower to hurt TCU through the air. The Horned Frogs surrender a paltry 2.4 yards per carry. They are one of the toughest teams by the line of scrimmage. The Horned Frogs are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games played in September, and 8-4 against the spread in their last 12 contests played on Saturday. On the other side, West Virginia is 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 games overall, but the Mountaineers have only covered once in their last 5 outings on the road. After 3 straight showings at home, this is a tough spot for West Virginia. The TCU Horned Frogs have bounced back nicely from its opening loss to Colorado, and the defense has made major strides. West Virginia has issues finishing drives offensively. The passing attack isn't great, and the lack of consistent drives puts the defense in a lot of tough situations. I question if West Virginia has the offensive firepower to keep up with a TCU team that scored 34 or more points in all 4 games this season. So the TCU Horned Frogs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The TCU Horned Frogs had reason to be concerned after a loss to Colorado in Week 1. But coming off back-to-back 2+ possession wins as 1-touchdown favorites against Houston and SMU, the Frogs seem to have settled in nicely. This is a much different team than we saw in the national title game a year ago. Quarterback Chandler Morris took over from Max Duggan, and Manny Bailey took over from now New Orleans Saint Kender Miller, and they lost their top 3 receivers from 2022, including first-rounder Quentin Johnston. All that being said, this is still a very capable unit on offense that has had little to no problems all season aside from a pair of costly turnovers in Week 1. The Horned Frogs rank 11th in total offense, averaging over 500 yards per game. But the Mountaineers are the toughest defense Morris and co. will have faced this year. West Virginia allows just 201.3 passing yards per game and 109.8 rush yards per game. Part of the reason they've had success on defense, especially when limiting Pittsburgh to 6 points and Texas Tech to 13, is their control of pace on offense. West Virginia ranks 16th in average time of possession and will likely favor the run game if quarterback Garrett Green isn't given the green light before kickoff. The Mountaineer starter injured his ankle a couple of weeks back, meaning freshman Nico Marchiol could make his second career start. Whoever is under center, this Mountaineer offense hasn't necessarily been the typical air-it-out Big 12 style we've come to know over the years. The Horned Frogs secondary could use some work, but the purple and white rank 16th in rushing defense, allowing just 85 rush yards per game and 2.45 yards per carry. West Virginia needs to bring its best defense in order to upset the odds at Ammon G. Carter Stadium. The Mountaineers will have a mountain to climb when they take on TCU's run defense. However, you never know with the Horned Frogs, whose offense has done a great job so far this season. 5 of West Virginia's previous 6 road contests have gone under the total. Also, the under is 4-1 in the Mountaineers' last 5 road encounters with the Horned Frogs, and it is 7-2 in their previous 9 meetings overall. I know TCU can put points on the board, but I don't think they are going to do it all by themselves. I cannot see West Virginia scoring more than 17 points in this game. The score will be well below the set total as TCU will start to run the ball with Bailey to kill clock late in the second half. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Alabama versus Mississippi State. It's a clash between a pair of teams from the Southeastern Conference West on the gridiron in the Magnolia State. The number 12 Alabama Crimson Tide are on the road as they make the trip west to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs Saturday night. Alabama comes in on the heels of a 24-10 home win over number 15 Ole Miss last Saturday in their previous game, covering the line as a 6.5-point favorite. Mississippi State ended up falling short on the road as they lost 37-30 to South Carolina, failing to cover the line as a 6-point underdog. In the all-time series between the teams, Alabama owns a commanding 85-18-3 advantage and has won the last 15 meetings. That includes a 30-6 home triumph in the most recent meeting on October 22, 2022. Alabama bounced back after their loss to Texas and scare against USF and beat Ole Miss last week 24-10. This week they have the other team from Mississippi who has been disappointing so far this season. They started with a couple of wins but then lost back-to-back games to LSU and South Carolina. They will have a tough test this week and need to get some wins if they want to make it a bowl game. Alabama's sights are still set on the Southeastern Conference Championship and college football playoff. They seem to have found their quarterback in Jalen Milroe, who had an 81% completion percentage with 225 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception against Ole Miss. Their defense also held a high-powered Ole Miss offense to only 10 points. With their remaining schedule, the Southeastern Conference West is still right in front of them, and a win in this game would be a good start before going to College Station next week, as long as they don't overlook the Bulldogs. Mississippi State has been dominated by their rival from only an hour-and-a-half drive away. The Tide have won 15 in a row against the Bulldogs and are 85-18-3 all-time. They have also won against the spread, having a 7-3 record in their last 10 meetings and 5-0 in their last 5 games. Alabama may not look as dominant as in previous years, but they are still an elite football team with 5-star talent across the field, and Mississippi State cannot say the same. The Tide defense only allows on average 15 points per game and 307.5 yards per game. Mississippi State's defense allows on average 400.3 yards per game. Alabama has an advantage defensively, but their offenses are fairly similar on paper. Both average around 370 yards per game and 31 points per game. The Mississippi State Bulldogs didn't look good against LSU or South Carolina, and you could argue Alabama is the best team they've faced yet. Mississippi State is rough defensively, and that includes being ranked 122nd against the pass. With that said, Alabama has issues of its own as it struggled in each of its last 3 games, and it's fair to question if there's a quarterback problem. I'm not laying more than 2 touchdowns on the road with the Crimson Tide. Until proven otherwise, this is the worst Alabama team we've seen in recent memory. I'm still not sold on Jalen Milroe, and he's going to have issues again here. So the Mississippi State Bulldogs to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Bulldogs' offense has been invisible in this series, leading to the under going 8-2 over the last 10 meetings between these schools. The Crimson Tide has completely shut them down, allowing them just 8 points per game in that stretch. Last season, they held Rodgers to just 231 yards and a 50% completion rate, with no touchdowns. On the other side of the ball, Alabama is still working out their identity as an offense. Milroe looked excellent in terms of accuracy last week, and he continues to grow with each week. Alabama enters this game having split their 4 games in relation to the total this season. The Crimson Tide has played just 1 road game on the year, combining with South Florida to score a total of 20 points to fall well short of the 61-point number set for that contest. Mississippi State has seen the under post a 2-2 mark in their 4 games so far this season. They stayed under the mark in 2 of their 3 home games on the year. The Bulldogs had a combined 55 points in their win over Southeastern Louisiana, falling short of the 58.5-point number set for that contest. Mississippi State combined with Arizona for 55 points to come in under the 60-point number there before topping out at 55 points in the loss to LSU to just edge past the number of 54 points there. We saw Alabama play more methodical and rely on defense plus the ground game last week. With all that said, I can't see Alabama exploding on Mississippi State's defense entirely. A similar game script here and flustering Rodgers should help keep this game below the total as well. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington versus Arizona. Pac-12 rivals are set to face off Saturday night when the number 7 Washington Huskies travel to take on the Arizona Wildcats. Washington just blew out Cal at home 59-32, covering the 21-point spread as favorites. Arizona just won in Stanford 21-20, but did not cover the spread as 13-point favorites. These teams met last season with Washington winning 49-39 at home. The Huskies are on the road, but that didn't bother them when they went into Michigan State and demolished the Spartans 41-7. Penix Jr. is putting together a special season and may very well win the Heisman if he keeps this pace. The Huskies have 3 excellent receivers to pair with Penix Jr., and Arizona does not have a single interception all season. The Huskies are going to put up huge offensive numbers again. Arizona was going to struggle here no matter what, but with their top quarterback and running back banged up, it will be even worse. Arizona's defense is good, but is it good enough to hold up against the Huskies? Without a reliable offense, the unit may be under too much pressure against Penix Jr., who is picking apart defenses with the experience level of a professional. The Huskies have too many weapons in the passing game. The Wildcats may be able to slow down Washington's run game, but it's too susceptible to the home run play through the air. Washington has scored 40 or more every game and won every game by 20. An Arizona team that may be without their starting quarterback is not the team that will break that trend. Under the presumption that the Wildcats will play without their starting quarterback and possibly their starting running back, which doesn't sound like the makings of an upset against one of the nation's elite passing teams, meaning the Huskies will roll. So the Washington Huskies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Washington is the more talented team and will control the tempo. Michael Penix Jr. and the Huskies' offense might be the most electric offense in the country, and they are averaging around 50 points per game. They would be scoring more, in fact, if they had not taken their foot off the gas late in games that were well out of hand. Penix is fun to watch, and he throws the ball so hard sometimes that you think you can feel your own fingers breaking just watching it. I don't think Arizona can slow them down. We could go ahead and pencil in Washington for at least 45 points, and it would be wildly outside of expectations if they checked in much below that. What about the Arizona side of the scoreboard? Well, the Wildcats are actually a pretty good offense too, and they have almost everyone back from last year. They won't stop Penix and co., and their best chance at winning is by just trying to keep pace. The Huskies want to score big and play fast. They won't mind giving up a few points to Arizona because they know they will score more. Washington's last game had 91 total points scored as they beat Cal 59-32. California is not known for their high scoring offense. They only scored 10 on Auburn, so if Cal can put up 32, then Arizona will be able to score a few touchdowns. Washington is on a tear this season, and the nation may not recognize it until they play Oregon next week. The Washington defense is far better this year than in years past, but if they give up 25 or so, that should be enough to push us over the total. We all know the rules on these Pac-12 after dark games, don't we? When 2 explosive offenses get together, expect a high-scoring affair. Don't be scared off by the obnoxiously high number. That number is high for a reason, and that is exactly what I expect to happen, as this could turn into a flag football game in a hurry. In what should be a textbook shootout in the late window, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.